Today I want to talk about the Ohio State Buckeyes winning the Big Ten championship and likely securing a place in the college football playoff. And all that's coming up after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner
What's up, kidfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. Today, I want to talk about the Ohio State Buckeyes winning the Big Ten championship in the wildest season of my lifetime and going out in style. Let's start with the good, get to the bad. Trey Sermon breaks the Ohio State single game rushing record with 29 carries for 331 yards. That breaks Eddie George's record, set more than 20 years ago. Yeah, 25 years ago. Goodness me. Trey Sermon holds a special place for me as a college football enthusiast, a guy that covers college football, and a man from Tulsa, Oklahoma. This is way back in March when this channel got started and Ohio State fans found this channel. One of the things that I had said was Trey Sermon's going to end up at Ohio State once he goes into the transfer portal. And he went into the transfer portal and make that video. He ends up at Ohio State. And there were so many folks, both at Ohio State and Oklahoma, were skeptical of this move. There were the Oklahoma fans that were going, you and Kennedy Brooks were going to be RB1 and RB2. Kenny Brooks ends up opting out, which means that Trey Sermon probably takes the role that Ramondre Stevenson has taken this year and probably would have had it for the entire year at Oklahoma. But he grad transferred, and that's what you do. If you want an opportunity, you want to go somewhere where you think you have a better chance to play or a better chance to win, that's what you do as a player. He ends up at Ohio State, and the early returns aren't great. Even as Master Teague has miraculously come back from injury after blowing out his Achilles in March, there are Ohio State fans that find it funny that the dude from Oklahoma is getting as much pub as he's getting. Doesn't have the best games earlier this year. And in a game where Northwestern's secondary was lights out. For those of you that don't know, Brandon Joseph was on my ballot for the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award as a semifinalist. I am a selection committee member, and I take that very seriously. And he showed out, right? Outstanding game for him. An outstanding game for, well, Northwestern secondary, because they were able to harass Justin Fields and force him into bad throws in what is the worst game and the best defensive performance for him and against him that we've seen all year. Before that, it was the Indiana game where he still threw for 3 bills, but he threw, a bunch of interceptions. And this one didn't get better, it got worse. So the book now is becoming one that Justin Fields hasn't played well against ranked opponents and defenses with a pulse. I would also change your attention to Clemson last year, but he'll get an opportunity to show what he's made of, likely against Alabama, if Alabama is able to beat Florida, and I think that they will, in the college football playoff in the Sugar Bowl. That's the bad. But if that's the bad, goodness me, man. They went into this game without Chris Olave. They went into this game without Marcus Hooker. I was very fond and always will be fond of dudes from Tulsa having an opportunity to shine on a national stage in big moments. And Josh Proctor got to start for Ohio State. Early, he whiffed on a tackle, Peyton Ramsey. And Ohio State fans wanted to come into the Twitter mentions and tell me all about it. Then the man comes up with a miraculous interception later in the game, and I didn't hear from him. Nobody showed up. Pat Fields today for Oklahoma. He's from Tulsa. He came up with a pick. Trey Brown, he's from Tulsa. He came up with a pick. But Trey Sermon's journey for me parallels that of Jalen Hurts. You go from one amazing program where they've won championships and they played in the playoff to another program where they've won championships and they're going to play in the playoff. And in a game where nothing was working offensively except Trey Sermon, that man continued to answer the bell, continued to answer the call. And this is also the part where I remind Ohio State fans, and to the delight of many folks that have been here since day one, my day ones, step mill folks, stand up, that this channel got launched in a game where Trey Sermon helped Oklahoma beat Ohio State 2017 in Columbus. Baker Mayfield famously took the OU flag and planted it in the center of the shoe. I was on a piece of cardio equipment. I had my iPhone in my hand. I was in grad school, and I was elated. I was so enthusiastic, and that was so much fun for me because I remember watching 2016, and I remember watching it from my couch, and there was no channel. I mean, there was nothing, right? I'm on my couch. And to where I have been able to journey since then, and to see these teams and to know these boys and to know these men and know their families and see them achieve all that they have desired, I can tell you there is probably a greater emotion in the world, and I might be overselling it, but it is an awesome feeling to be a part of those journeys and to meet these folks and to be able to tell their stories and to watch them achieve these great levels of success, even amid these circumstances. So happy for the boys from Oklahoma. So happy for the boys from Ohio State. I'm hurt for the boys to go to Northwestern, the boys to go to Iowa State. They wanted it just as badly. I never believe that God is on one side or another in these things. I believe that God's got other things to do. He allows us to enjoy football. And I love college football. And I love watching these boys grow to become men and their stories becoming widely known because of what they can do on a football field. But I am prouder still of the kind of men they turn out to be. Justin Fields is an outstanding man who had a horrible game, right? In a game that Ohio State ends up winning 22-10, Justin Fields is bad. 12 of 27 for 114 yards with 2 picks, and he sacked 3 times. But he led. And that's what you needed the quarterback to do, man. Like, when I get into these discussions about Trevor Lawrence versus Justin Fields, I say it's what's your taste? What do you like best, right? Because I don't think there's a real dividing line there. I think that they are competitive, and I think they need each other to show us all how good they are. Because without them, we would say one is far and away the best quarterback in the country, and we would never get to see what they look like juxtaposed, and we were blessed to see that last year. This year, we might be blessed to see it again. Who knows? But what I've seen from Justin Fields that I want from my quarterback, as much as I want any of the athletic attributes that he possesses, is his poise and his ability to lead and his want to lead and his want to be there for his teammates. And his teammates want to follow him. And they didn't give up when he was playing poorly. They didn't give up when he threw interceptions. They continued to grind. And that offensive line was able to maul against the Northwestern defense that was missing 2 starters at defensive tackle and an all Big Ten defensive back. But still, man, showing up, showing out, 22-10 to win the Big Ten championship and likely punch their ticket to get back into the playoff. I hope it means something when I say I'm proud of those teams. Deuces.